maintaining mental health during a war is of the utmost importance. It is about preserving the mental health of individuals, but also about preserving mass psychology. When mass psychology breaks down, people often seek dopamine in unnatural ways. One of these ways is through alcohol. Alcohol can provide psychological relief for a while, but however, after the alcohol wears off, the need for dopamine increases and the person craves more. Russian soldiers have been facing this situation in recent days. Drunken Russian soldiers are demonstrating this situation by spreading terror once again. So what are the new problems caused by the drunken Russian soldiers? Let's take a look at developments. As the Pioneer team, we continue to bring the Russia-Ukraine war to your screens. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss our daily map reports and reports on the agenda. You can also support me and my team by using the super thanks button below the videos. Let's start if you are ready. The Pioneer reports. The morale of the soldiers in the Russian army is at all-time low. Russian soldiers are struggling to cope with the increasing number of meat attacks orders. Every day, more and more soldiers are at risk of losing their lives, and this is a dire situation. Russian soldiers seems to have only one way out: drinking alcohol until they're drunk. Russian soldiers are known to have committed several drunken acts throughout the war. The most recent of these actions took place on the Donetsk front line. The Donetsk front line resembled a living hell. Allegedly, Russian soldiers had received orders for new meat attacks, but this time, the attack was to be kept extremely secret. Russian soldiers would infiltrate Ukrainian positions and launch the attack without Ukrainian soldiers noticing. Thus, the Ukrainian soldiers would be deceived that the defense line would be breached. At the beginning, the Russian soldier and Russian troops moved quite routinely for their operations. However, as time progressed, their tension and fear increased, and they felt that they have to get rid of these feelings. So, as was customary, they started drinking alcohol during the last break before the operation. This resulted in many Russian soldiers becoming intoxicated with alcohol. Some Russian soldiers acted cautiously by consuming less alcohol and tried to control their intoxicated friends. However, their efforts were futile as the drunken soldiers did not understand what they were saying. After a while, the break was over and the soldiers were on the move. Step by step, they approached the Ukrainian positions. As they approached the Ukrainian positions, a drunken Russian soldier verbally attacked his fellow soldier. This verbal attack angered the other Russian soldier, and the argument, which was initially verbal, escalated. However, the commander could not intervene because he was drunk as well. The argument between the soldiers flared up as they continued their march. Still getting closer to the Ukrainian positions, the soldiers who were not drunk tried to calm their comrades down, but no avail. The situation was out of control. The arguing Russian soldiers were now on alert and both sides were looking for an opportunity. The insults were harsh and the tension was high. A drunken Russian commander also got involved in the argument. Just then, chaos erupted. The drunken Russian soldiers suddenly opened fire on each other. According to local sources, this Russian squad of about 50 men harmed each other as the result of the dispute. A few Russian soldiers who were not drunk, realizing that the situation was going to get complicated, fled and ensured their own safety. However, the whereabouts of these fleeing soldiers are still unknown. The Russian military has launched a wide-ranging investigation into the incident. Some sources state that all of the Russian soldiers who clashed lost their lives. According to the other sources, they were wounded. However, it is claimed that these wounded Russian soldiers were taken to an unknown location by the Russian army officials and interrogated as part of the investigation. The incident has caused outrage on the war blocs where extreme Russian nationalists are active. Many extreme Russian nationalists accuse the war leadership of irresponsibility. In addition, the issue of banning the use of the alcohol by the Russian soldiers in the battlefield has repeatedly arisen. Russian bloggers are reacting angrily, questioning why this ban has not been enforced. The state sources in the Russian Federation remain silent on this issue. The Russian army is unable to cope with these internal problems, but the Ukrainian army is still resiliently fighting against the Russian army. In recent days, the Ukrainian army destroyed a Russian convoy, and a new detail about this attack have emerged. These details have sparked new debate in Russia. Are there traitors and sellouts in Russia? There have been allegations that the Russian nationalists are openly turning against the Russian leadership. the Russian meal bloggers have raised a number of allegations related to the failed retreat of the Russian military following the failed offensives. In particular, Russian meal bloggers have been heavily critical of the apparent inability of the Russia's armed forces to prevent the destruction of millions of dollars worth of specialized equipment by cheap Ukrainian FPV drones, and are holding the Putin administration to account. One of these meal bloggers are Maxim Kalashnikov, who made the following statements about the latest incident. Once again, our convoy was blown to pieces by drones. No protecting from the sky, no small caliber air defense weapons, no small scale jamming. Are the defense units of this army useless? The better question would be, are there any traitors or sellouts in this army? What is the purpose of these attacks? Are these attacks taking place so that senior Russian army commanders can declare that they are taking decisive action and earn medals for throwing away their lives of their own people? There is now an open struggle between the Russian military and the propagandists. Even these propagandists who defend every action of the Russian army no longer hesitate to criticize the war leadership. However, there are still some who support the war leadership. One of these people are Vladimir Solovyov, who made the following statements in the wake of our statements from the Russian meal bloggers. Today, Russian meal bloggers are spreading videos of Ukrainian attacks on our combat vehicle. I say these people should be arrested and put in jail. Who are they doing this for? For our soldiers? For our commanders? They are trying to help? No, they're here and they are dragging the Russian society with negative information. All those who exaggerated these events to the Russian society should be destroyed. It is damaging our war. We should no longer allow such capricious people to influence our society. As you can see, the differences of opinion in Russia are growing. Both sides are accusing each other of treason, which is raising tension. Vladimir Putin, the president of the Russian Federation, has so far not joined the debate. However, this debate is expected to deepen in the coming days. So, what do you think? Do you think this controversy will get bigger? How do you interpret the developments regarding the drunken Russian soldiers? Will Putin get involved in these discussions? How will the increasing losses of the Russian army affect the front line? Let me know in the comments, as I read and I care about all your comments.